All right, hey guys. We have been working through our polynomials functions unit, and what we're going to do today is we are going to review some of the operations that we are doing with polynomials. After we took our quiz the other day, they looked pretty good, but I noticed that we still had some people making a few errors when it came to performing different operations with polynomials. So we're going to review some of that, take care of some of that before we move on to factoring polynomials, which I know will be everybody's favorite. So I'm going to show you a couple of different methods for adding and subtracting polynomials. And of course, you can pick whatever method that you want to do. But the key here is just making sure that you're performing the operations correctly. So let's look at this first example here. I have 5x squared plus x minus 7 plus negative 3x squared minus 6x minus 1. So here I'm adding these two polynomials together. So when I add my polynomials together, I have to look for like terms, okay? And remember, when we combine like terms, you're looking for the same variable and the same exponent. And when you do that, your exponents do not change. You're just regrouping. You want to think of putting things together that are the same. That doesn't change what those things are. It just changes where they're located. They're located together. So when we combine these polynomials, if we want to do it vertically, then I'm going to write my two polynomials basically on top of each other so that I'm lining up my like terms together, just like when we're taught how to add old school, and I'm adding these together. So then I'd start from the right. Negative 7 plus negative 1 is negative 8. X plus negative 6x would be negative 5x. And 5x squared plus negative 3x squared would be 2x squared. So that would be my final answer right there. Okay. And then I can do the exact same thing with subtraction if vertically. Okay. If I want to subtract these two polynomials, again, I can line them up so that my like terms are on top of each other. 3x to the third plus 8x squared minus x minus 5. And then I have 5x to the third. I'm going to write that under my 3x to the third. I'm going to write my negative x squared underneath my 8x squared. And then I'm missing my linear term, my one that has an exponent of 1. So I'm going to leave a space there. Then I'm going to put plus 17. Now, the key here is that these are being subtracted. So subtracting is the same thing as adding the opposite sign. So I'm going to go through. Let's pick another color. It's going to show up a little better. I'm going to change the signs of all of my terms. I'm going to make this negative x to the third, positive x squared, and negative 17. So now I can go through and combine my like terms. Negative 5 plus negative 17 is going to be negative 22. My minus x term, that's not going to change because I didn't have anything to combine it with. 8x squared plus positive x squared is going to be 9x squared. And 3x to the third plus negative 5x to the third is going to be negative 2x to the third. Okay, so that's one way of adding and subtracting polynomials. This one is vertically. Okay, now horizontally is more of the traditional way that you're used to, where all we're doing is looking for like terms. So if I have x to the fourth plus 2x to the third plus 8 plus 2x to the fourth minus 9, I'm going to say, okay, x to the fourth, those are like terms, so those become 3x to the fourth. 2x to the third, it doesn't have anything over here to the right, so I'll just bring it down. And then 8 has a like term with -9, so that would be -1. Okay, so then when I subtract here, when I have two polynomials that are being subtracted, I'm going to distribute my negative sign. So I'm going to change all of these to their opposite sign. So my left-hand side is going to stay the same. 9x to the fourth minus 12x to the third plus x squared minus 8. Then I'm going to make this minus 3x to the fourth plus 12x to the third and plus x. So now I can go through and do the same thing, combine my like terms. 9x to the fourth can be combined with negative 3x to the fourth to make 6x to the fourth, Negative 12x to the third can be combined with positive 12x to the third. What do those do? Those cancel out. So is that the same as writing x to the third? No, because that has a coefficient of 1. We have 0 x to the thirds left over, so we're just not even going to write that term. Then we have x squared. It doesn't have any like terms, so I'll bring it down, plus x squared. And then I do have a linear term here. Can't forget that. I'm going to bring that down also, x. And then my minus 8. Can bring that down too. All right, so pause your video. I want you to do the section on your Delta Math that says adding and subtracting polynomials. Pause your video.